Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about the sixth episode of the Revisiting series, and as like the um episode, the map is what we're talking about as well. Chapter 6 is our discussion for today's video. So chapter 6, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the last chapter that they added, or maybe it was 5, I'm not exactly sure. It was 5 or 6 that they added way back in 2018 before they got an expansion. So like the base game itself, I believe it was chapter 6 or chapter 5 was when it stopped. But regardless though, this is a significant map in the game because it is the first introduction of purple plates. You guys see right here. We go back to chapter 5, I talked about this in the previous episode. It only has blue plates. So chapter 6 and above is a very significant map to start farming because these things right here, you're going to need a lot of these if you plan on playing this game for a very, very long time. I think personally I've gone through like 20, 30, 40,000 of these plates, probably more than that actually, in my lifetime playing this game, and I still need quite a bit whenever they want to release new gear. So yeah, but I have a lot stocked up anyway, so it's not a big deal. But chapter 6 though, aside from just purple plates and being like the last campaign map, also has some significant things in it. So if we were to go to 6-1, this is one of my favorite maps to farm back in the day. It is one of the easiest maps to farm, and it drops purple plates. Not to mention, if I recall correctly, it drops SG radars, the gold one as well too. And these things right here, back before gold fire control radars were very, very accessible. We had multiple pencils available. A lot of people use these on their battleships. These things right here give evasion. They give hit as well too, which battleships very, very need. These things were one of the best in slots for battleships back in the day, before shells and fire control radars became very, very meta. These were the quote-unquote best in slot for battleships back in the day. So a lot of people farm these in particular. I farmed this place a lot, and that's what I did with it. And as you guys tell right here, I got all the ships unlocked. So yeah, I can get Vestal here, a great repair ship for campaign. Helena as well. Overall, not a bad map to farm in general. Pretty diverse in that department, and it was very, very easy as well too. Now, if we look at map design, turn off clearing mode. It's a very, very simple map. I don't think it was very too complex. I think there's like some annoying part to the design. I think it's like the top left corner somewhere. You can spawn stuff. But overall, that's just a flat map. It's very, very easy. It's not a big deal. Now, if we were to go to 6-2 though, this place, it drops the Mogami gun, the Belfast gun, whatever you want to call these things. People called them the Belfast gun back in the day because it was best in slot on Belfast. So people called it the Belfast gun. I know people call it Mogami gun nowadays because Mogami actually used it historically or something like that. But we call it Belfast gun because people that have played this game since 2018 used it on Belfast. I did as well too. That's why we called it Belfast gun. And she was way more significant back in the day. Compared to Mogami was. There's also that. I saw it took Mogami like a year or two before she came out for I believe, a rerun for Visitors Died in Red or something like that. So it wasn't available back when Belfast was out, and just go to Belfast. So there you go. Now this is also good as well too because it drops the quote unquote still the best, one of the best guns to this very, very day, the 44406 MK6 HE battleship gun. Honestly, overall, we have a combination of the Belfast gun, which is a great auxiliary as well too, aside from just being a best slot on Belfast back in the day. Also gives a great battleship gun as well too. So this is basically like your battleship starting kit map. You got a great auxiliary, you got a great main gun right here. Honestly, a very, very good map to farm for battleships in general. Now, the pain with this map is that when you go inside, it is pretty poorly designed. I'll show you guys right here what I'm talking about. So if you guys don't know, there's just like narrow crevice right here. You get locked in. The boss can spawn like right here as well too. So like if you don't clear these mobs, it spawns in the corner. It can spawn over here as well too. It can spawn over like somewhere over here. There's a lot of like choke points here, and so even if you clear out the five initial mobs or whatever, and it gets a very, very bad spawn, you're honestly forced to do another map or another clear or two just to get rid of the mobs in the way to get to the boss. So it's an oil burn. Essentially, if you guys are trying to be efficient with oil, You may not get lucky on some of the map spawns, and you may gotta do an extra sortie, which is gonna suck. So, and there's no oil cap for chapter 6 maps until chapter 9. So yeah. But aside from that, though, it's a great map to farm. It's a really good map for battleship starting kits or starter kits. Very, very good map. 6-3 is also a great map as well too, because you have access to not only the 406 MK6, you can get some auto reloaders as well too. These aren't as meta nowadays. People use them like a little bit back in the day. Now people barely use them unless you want to use it for like get an extra volley in on your battleships, like Musashi, who has very, very slow reload. But yeah, that's pretty much where you want to use it. You can also get the tier 3 410mm mounted, the Sakura Empire gun. This is actually a really good gun back in the day as well too, because it has a good mixture of speed with damage. It got replaced eventually with the FDG gun that you guys can get for the HE stuff from PR2. But this gun right here lasted quite a bit. I used it on Hood back in the day. I believe this is probably her best gun for Hood. So actually not a bad gun. To this very day, it's fall off a lot. There's a lot better options nowadays, but it's still a relatively good gun if you guys want to use like more speed oriented volley guns or whatever compared to the MK6. So not a bad gun. Again, the issue with this map is it's poorly designed. I remember this map being very, very poorly designed because it can be either here, it can be over here. There's a choke point here, there's a choke point here. Yeah, it gets rough. Not as bad as 6-2 though, but it's still a rough map regardless because the spawns here are not generous. If they removed this little crescent island right here, it wouldn't be as a big deal, but there's gonna be a lot of spawns, especially when you get into the middle. You gotta split your fleets around. Yeah, it sucks. 6-4, the second introduction of a SSR ship right here. Now this got added way back, so you guys don't see my Yudachi here, but I do have Yudachi. I don't know why I didn't update, but whatever. You can get Yudachi here though. Poi, whatever. The second introduction of SSR farmable ship in the game. Very interesting map. You guys can get the manual quad torpedoes here. A lot of torpedoes here actually. Get 3 of them, so that's actually really nice. 2 anti-air as well too. So torpedo farmers, this is actually not a bad map if you guys want to play manual stuff. Now, if you were to go inside this map though, right here. This map is very interesting. It's not the worst map design. I believe it's you gotta do like 6 fights before the boss spawns or something like that. So it can be a pain. But there is an ammo node here. It's not the worst. You may have to do an extra oil fighter too because I think the spawn's like either here, or like here or something like that. So it can be a pain, but overall though, not a terrible map. 6-2 is definitely the worst map in chapter 6 by far. But yeah, you can farm Yudachi here. Overall, very solid map. So that is chapter 6 for you guys. Overall, a very basic map, very good map to farm as well too. 6-1 is my personal favorite when I farm chapter 6. 6-2 can be good for battleship starters. 6-3 is for the extra BB gun, and 6-4 is just for torpedoes and Yudachi essentially. So pick whatever map you guys want to farm. You guys are farming chapter 6. Overall, very basic, simple map for players. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.